Metro is a series of books created by one Dmitry Glukovsky, which was picked up by the games development company 4A Games, who, promptly did what any games company does and created a series of games, all of which have been extremely well received, as well as winning multiple awards and nominations. As an avid fan of the Metro series, I do recommend playing the games and then reading the books Dmitry wrote, as both are fantastic bits of media. Though, knowing you guys, you won't read the books, so just play the games, they're pretty good. And to keep you little troglodytes on your toes, I won't tell you which one, but there's Booba. Other than that, the game developers clearly put everything they had into this series from Game 1 to Game 3. Every corner, every shadow tells and builds its own story. There is just so much here that people just wander past. And as an absolute nerd, I've decided to write a few hundred words going over some of these areas and why they are so just damn depressing, man. So pop a joy pill and get ready, homies.
Right. Happiness is a choice.
The main character of the Metro series walks through these tunnels in Moscow, rifle in hand and gas mask at the ready. Though not everyone has this luxury of being the main character. Just as in our real life where, we're all clearly NPCs in Riff Raff's life.
Main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
But unlike the real world, most of us don't live in the Russian subway system, thankfully. Pause. I have to admit, at the time I said that, I had not seen pictures of the actual Russian subway. Holy shit! This thing is beautiful. Look at these things. Look at these ceilings, bruh. What? Metro? Where is this stuff? Come on. Like, damn. Tangent over, bro. Go back to the video. This depraved world is helpless to the onslaught outside in those tunnels. There are some final safe bastions along these tracks. Let's start by visiting one from the first game in the series and my personal favourite, Metro 2033.
I'd never seen a market like this. You could buy almost anything. But Bourbon owed money to the Hansa sentries and was anxious to leave.
A bustling market of scarred flooring and winding pathways. Not many people live in the market, but those who do have a choking sadness to them. From the radio engineer just begging someone to pick up still.
If anyone reads me, respond. It's Moscow, Market Underground Station. No one. If anyone reads me, respond. This is Moscow Metro, over. Does anyone read me? Please respond. If anyone reads me... No one.
Or the loud music with just no one left to enjoy it. I believe the bar is a focal point of the market, as it is in any MMORPG's town. Playing music from a time past and drinking to hopefully keep the present at bay. Just a little bit longer. A drunk laying practically dead on his table. Next to him, multiple large bags. No doubt another victim of the low morale. No sunlight, just candles. Whispers of lone travelers disappearing in the tunnels. And myths about what is really out there fill the echoes of these market halls.
Where lone travelers tend to disappear. A caravan with a dozen men can make it through. And the ones who do say there's nothing suspicious about the tunnel itself. It's quiet and empty. There are no side branches, nowhere to get lost. But the next day, someone who's heard how nice and safe that tunnel is decides to go there alone and vanishes like a ghost.
The developers really did a fantastic job with this sort of thing throughout the entire series. All of these small stop-off rest areas where usually you might pass through quite quickly are stuffed to the brim with atmosphere and secondary stories. You just gotta look for it. And it's doing the Metro series a disservice if you don't stop to smell the radioactive flowers just a couple of times before you promptly jump scared by whatever the fuck this thing is. Like, I know radiation's a bit messy and it can do some crazy things to you, but what even was this before the bombs dropped? I know no animal that looks like this. Like, none.
The subterranean Venice, an island on the dark waters of underground rivers. You always hear rough stories circulating about this place. I hear it is all one huge den of thieves. But there is something I know for sure. Pavel reached Venice, and if I'm not late, he's still here. Finding the Dark One is still my main mission. But now I see I must also uncover Corbett's plans so that I can warn the Order about them.
The Russians' now flooded metro has been promptly named Venice, and after a quick stop there, you can quickly tell why. Hordes of fishermen dispersed along narrow walkways, while above them, bars and brothels run rampant with the richer clientele of here Venice. The water runs quietly below the packed bar, as if it isn't even there. It burns and cuts through the houses, causing leaks and spreading its diseases. The patrons slope down the stairs, packed into tiny apartments made of clad sheet metal and nailed wood, no doubt now long irradiated. In the corner, a boy cries out for a lost bear, and it's quickly comforted by its mother. The parent of the metro now barely holding on. With a bit of detective work, though, Artyom can bring some light to this, and return the bear from the in-station gun range as a reward after a quick tournament of brutality, hosted by some hopeful metro entrepreneurs. Well, hey, at least these ones aren't showing their cocks to flight attendants. Get it? Because Elon Musk, Twitter Mac. The setting of Metro leaves not much to the imagination. It's all front and center. The hope of a once prospering nation snuffed out like a candle in darkness. People turn to tunnel rats with no hope of a good future. But it's not just the monsters down in the tunnels that are the issue. It's our humanity. It's our prejudices, our hatred. The Red Line, a one-party political union that has no allies and believes in throwing anyone willing or not at the front line to fight their enemies, especially the Fourth Reich, keeping legions of prisoners in steel damp cages while trying to purify the metro of any differences and all mutants. The big parties in the metro, they are its end. Bringing their differences of views to the point of war at this time of dire survival is a disgrace that only becomes clearer the longer you play and read through both Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. Their brutal ways of throwing bodies at the problem fixes no other issue other than the food shortage. At a time where the remnants of a dying country sit idly at war with each other, is it too soon to ask for a perfect equalizer? These military generals and so-called political leaders have led the people of the Metro astray. They have no intentions of changing their habits and ways. The infighting that goes on is that of schoolboys with pistols. But now, with society underground, the world can only hope. They can only hope that some light breaks through the cracks. But what has the rest of the world been doing? What has that light been doing? The world can't be silent. No, that's not how it works. Surely. Because they've been lying. this entire time, for generations, births and deaths, they have been lying. Russia has been dead, dying even, bleeding on its knees, and rather than call for help and accept international aid, put their grievances aside, they force themselves, they force their children into this dark hell for generations, hoping one day that it might just turn out okay. But no. These men, they have no future, no foresight, no leadership capabilities. They simply want to fight their wars and fight them till they are over. Because these men, they are not leaders, but soldiers. And that is all they know. That is all they breathe, and that is all they see. Hatred for an invisible enemy waiting around every corner, in every barracks, in every house, in every tunnel, an invisible enemy. But these wars, whether it end in honor or surrender, these wars will never end. Because in this hellhole, in this pit in the ground we named the Metro, being yourself is no longer a viable option. Down here, in the rubble, in the bodies, in the blood, in the craziness, in the sacrifice, there is nothing more you can do. You either adapt or die.